Question and answer on control and coordination. So in our body, it may be animal, it may be plants. There has to be some coordination between different parts like leaves, like stem in plants. In our case or in animals, brain, then body, then skin, different organs, how they are controlled, how they coordinate. This is the basis of these question answers. Which of the following is a plant hormone? So insulin is ours, thyroxine, estrogen, these are all ours. So cytokinin is the plant hormone. The gap between two neurons is called synapse. Synapse, you can say. The brain is responsible for, brain is responsible for all control and mostly all the coordination. So all of the above: thinking, regulating the heartbeat, balancing the body. So answer would be D. What is the function of receptors in our body? Receptors, or you can say sensors in our body. Think of situation where receptors do not work properly. What happen when this doesn't work? What problems you are likely to face or likely to arise? See, receptors are sensory structures, and basically what they are organs, tissues or cells, and they are present in all over the body. For example, eye, ear, what are they? Eye receives light, ear receives sound. So these receptors are, you can combine them in the form of eye or ear, or even they can be scattered in the form of in the skin, right? So what are the basic functions of receptor? First of all, for any external thing, stimulus or stimuli, they sense the external stimuli like the heat or pain. They also trigger an impulse in the sensory neuron, which will send message to the spinal cord. Spinal cord is very important. If these receptors are damaged, the external effects or stimuli transferring signal to the brain, they will not be felt, because brain should know what is going on. In the case of damaged receptors, if we accidentally touch any hot object, let us take an example. Our hands, they might burn, but you will not feel any heat or pain. Draw the structure of neuron and explain its function. So this is a neuron, this is the cell, total cell, because we have nucleus here. These are the dendrites, and these are the axon. So axon transfers the thing outside, dendrite takes the things, take the signals, messages, and cells is for growth and development. So neurons, these are the functional unit of nervous system. The three main parts of neuron, these are axon, the dendrites, and the cell body. So let us see the function of each of them. Axon, it conducts messages away from the cell body. The dendrite, it receives information from axon of another cell and then conducts the message towards, this is very important, this sends message away, this takes the message towards the cell body. And what is cell body? It contains all those contents which are there in cell, nucleus, mitochondria, other organelles also. And this is mainly concerned with the maintenance, growth and development. How does phototropism occurs in plant? What is phototropism? When plant are subjected to light, they tend to bend towards the light. So the movement of plant in response to light is known as phototropism. And how does this stem? See, if this is a plant, it bends like this, somewhat bend, little bend, but there is a bending. So when growing plant detect light, a hormone which is known as auxin, this is synthesized at the shoot tips. This helps the cell to grow longer. When a light is coming from, say, one side of the plant, the auxin would diffuse towards the shady side of the shoot, because everywhere light will not come. And this concentration of this auxin stimulates the cell to grow longer on the side of the shoot, which is not subjected to light or away from light. That is why the plant appear to bend towards the light, which is phototropism. Which signals will get disrupted in case of spinal cord injury? Now everything comes to spinal cords, because this is spinal cord which sends the message or signal to brain and to and fro the brain. So this reflects our connection between the input and output nerves. They meet in a bundle. Where? In spinal cord. And in fact, what happens here is the nerves from all over the body, they actually meet in a bundle in the spinal cord on their way to brain. So if in case of any injury to the spinal cord, the signals coming from the nerves as well as the signal which is coming from the receptor will be disrupted. How does chemical coordination occurs in plants? Animals and humans, they have nervous system, and this nervous system is responsible for controlling and coordinating all the activities of the body. But in the case of plants, they neither have nervous system nor do they have muscles. So these plants, they respond to stimuli by showing movements. The growth, development and responses to the environment in plants is controlled and coordinated by a special class of chemical substances, and we know it as hormones. So these hormones, they are produced in, say, one part of the plant body, say here, and they are translocated to the needy part, say here, this way. Let us take an example. A hormone produced in, say, roots is translocated to another part. So there are 5 major types of phytohormone, the plant hormone. They are auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid and ethylene. They can be growth promoter, they can be growth inhibitor. So auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins and ethylene, these are growth promoters, and abscisic acid, these are growth inhibitors. What is the need for a system of control and coordination in organism? It can be organism, and you can extend it to plants also. Why it is required? See, a body, the maintenance of the body functions, because body has many organs, many parts, many things. So the maintenance of body function in response to changes in the body by working together of various integrated body functions, this is known as coordination. And all the movements that occur in response to the stimuli, they are carefully coordinated and controlled. In animals, what happens? The control and coordination movement are provided by what? By nervous and muscular system, right? And message come and muscle will respond. So the nervous system sends message to and fro, that is to and away from the brain. Spinal cord also plays a vital role. It plays an important role in the relay of messages. In its absence, the system of control and coordination, the body will not be able to function properly. So anything which is from outside stimulus or anything from inside, both needs to be properly controlled and coordinated. For instance, if we again touch some hot utensil, we immediately remove or withdraw our hand. If there is no nerve transmission, we will not be able to remove or withdraw our hand, and we may get burned. How are involuntary actions and reflex actions different from each other? Involuntary actions cannot be consciously controlled. You cannot control what is going on in your stomach. When you eat food, you don't know. So we cannot consciously control the movement of food in the, say, alimentary canal or pumping of blood through heart. You cannot control your heart. The time you were born, the stomach and heart is working. These are all involuntary actions. But these actions somewhere is controlled by the brain. On the other hand, reflex actions. Your eyes get closed. You will close your eyes immediately when there is a bright light. And this is sudden response. And there is no time for thinking. So these are reflex actions. That is why, unlike these involuntary actions, the reflex actions, which has no time, it has to be done quickly, they are not under the control of your brain. Compare and contrast nervous and hormonal mechanisms for control and coordination in animals. First, in nervous, the information is conveyed in the form of electric pulse. In the hormonal system mechanism, the information is conveyed in the form of chemical messengers. Here electrical impulse, here chemical messengers. In the nervous system, we have axon and dendrites. They transmit the information through a coordinated effort. Axon away, dendrites towards. In hormonal, the information is transmitted or transported through blood. In nervous, the flow of information is rapid and the response is quick. In hormonal, the information travels slowly and the response is slow. The effort are short-lived in nervous system mechanism. The effort or the effects are prolonged in hormonal system mechanism. What is the difference between the manner in which movement takes place in sensitive plant and movement in our legs? So we have to differentiate, plant and animal-like things. First is the movement when we talk about sensitive plants, like the Mimosa pudica. When you touch it, it is a stimulus. So in a response to certain touch, or any animal touches it, it does something. These are sensitive plants. The movement in our leg, the movement of our leg when we walk, this is voluntary action, right? The movement in sensitive plant, for this movement, the information is transmitted from cell to cell by electrochemical signals, because the plant do not have any specialized tissue for conduction of impulses that we have. That is, the signal or message for these actions are passed to the brain and hence consciously controlled. So movement of our leg is consciously controlled by brain. In this case, for this movement to take place occur, the plant cells change shape by changing the amount of water in them. They change shape according to or with respect to the amount of water they have. In the movement in our leg, the animal muscle cells, some proteins are found which allow the movement to occur. So these are question and answer in control and coordination, plants and animal. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.